Hey everybody, I really appreciate you being on the webinar, and I have some really good information for you on purchasing. You're going to get a vendor contact matrix that includes different vendors for embroidery blanks. That's going to help out with contacting some different companies to source best prices or to just build good relationships with vendors that might be able to help you out with specials on a regular basis. So I want to run through a quick procedure with you that's going to help you save some money and also be aware of the market prices for your blanks, as well as get the best deal and keep a really good relationship with the vendor. Sometimes negotiating with customers, with vendors, there's going to be exchanges of information, and one thing you want to know basically was you're getting to an agreement is that a negotiation is all about a good relationship on both sides of the fence, right? To meet in the middle and have a common goal so everybody's happy. So it's really important that there's just some questions, there's some information being exchanged until you come to the agreement, and some things are happening. So I went ahead and got a document together for everybody so you have a checklist of what to do in addition to the vendor contact matrix, which I hope that's useful for you. I know it's very useful for some other people that use it, so enjoy. Basically, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and use a standard purchase order. If you're going to be working with vendors that don't really use purchase orders, they don't have like an online web form that you get a confirmation of. Purchase orders are a contract between you and a vendor that say, hey, I agree to buy this certain amount of product. The vendor's going to fulfill the product based on these terms and conditions, like the vendor's going to ship it to you, or you're responsible for the product when the vendor ships it, or you're responsible for the product when you receive it. There's some different terms around that. If the vendor doesn't have a standard purchase order, or there's not really like a purchase order form you're filling out online or some sort of confirmation of that, I highly recommend using a template and getting your own purchase order going so that there's some sort of formal agreement in place. So if you don't have one, just go ahead and get a purchase order template so you got yourself covered for you and for the vendor. Super important. So go ahead and call ahead of placing the order before you do it and investigate the purchasing terms with the vendor. Find out from the company, hey, does Sanmar or All About Blanks or Blanks Discount Blanks, do they, are they responsible for the shipment until you get it? Or are they going to ship with UPS, FedEx, or they use a combination of those things? It's good to just ask. You can just ask those questions. What are your terms of purchasing? What's the terms of the merchandise, right? And always call an inside salesperson or an order taker. When you deal with a person, usually people have more flexibility, more leverage, and you never really know what people can do for you, and they might also be able to point you towards a person above them or up that can do more for you when you go through these questions. So when you research a vendor and you get to an agent, let's say, or you just kind of know, maybe you've called in a few times and you have some relationships, let them know, I'm not placing an order, I just need to gather some information. It's super important so that, because some vendors, you might just be calling to ask some questions about a promotion or something going on, and they might actually think you're placing an order if you have an account with them and just send it. So you want to be really clear, hey, I'm just calling to get some information. Because sometimes you call and say, hey, is there a promotion? I saw an email on this, or can you tell me about your promotions? They tell you, and you say, oh, that's great. And they go, okay, great. We'll talk to you later. And they think you saying that's great is like a confirmation to ship it, and it's not. Let them know. I will submit a formal purchase order with you, or I'll send you an email as a formal purchase order. I'm not placing an order today. I'm just gathering information. I highly recommend not doing tongue-in-cheek orders. Just calling up and telling somebody you want something is kind of volatile. It's not really a good idea. Okay, so you want to ask the following 4 questions. How much merchandise do I need to purchase? How many blanks or what kind of blanks do I need to purchase to get free freight? What's my free freight goal? How much merchandise is required to receive a volume discount, right? What are the normal payment terms and levels of purchases sets those payment terms forth? Like, are you going to give me 30 days to pay for it? If I pay for it in 10 days, do I get a 2% discount? Net 10, 2%, or net 2%, 10 days is a pretty common kind of purchase order thing where vendors will give you a discount if you pay early. Maybe they don't normally offer that, but they can, and so they say, well, they will. That's great. You put it on a credit card, get some points, and you're still going to pay for that 30 days out anyway, and you get the discount, plus maybe you get cash back rewards on the credit card. that's a great strategy to go ahead and cut the bottom line down a little bit. Are there any current promotions or specials available? You might not know about that. There might be, if you just place an order online, the person, might have told you about something that you didn't know about. So that's super important. Okay. And then ask the following questions. List the following items that you're ordering. Don't give them quantities. Just say, well, I'm looking to get this, this, and this, basically, is what I'm looking to order. Do you have any open stock or discounted merchandise segments? Do you have any liquidation segments? If it is open stock, what's the condition of that merchandise? Can I still be given free freight on that? If not, how much more do I need to get free freight? What's the level? If the amount of product needed to gain free freight is within the amount of money, shipping costs are generally like, you could be paying as much as like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe even $100 if you're getting like heavy stuff. It really depends. If you achieve the free freight, you might just think about your stock items too. Like, do you need anything extra? Is there stuff you stock that you normally need on a regular basis that you should have in stock to take advantage of the discounts and free freight as well? Liquid stuff that you normally sell like on a month-to-month basis. Caps, aprons, polos, bags, stuff like that that you maybe have clients that are doing regular orders for, and that sort of thing. Okay, so if you've achieved the volume discount, your stock levels are good. You're asking about current promotions. Are there future promotions? Find out maybe if they've got stuff going on in the future. Maybe they're willing to give you that right now. Maybe they're like, there is a promotion going on in like 3 days since you're doing this big order right now, or this larger order. I'm just going to go ahead and give this to you now. If they say there is one going on in 3 days, you can say, well, can I get it right now? Can you go ahead and give that to me right now? Just given the nature of the order, the promotion, and that sort of thing. When they ask you for payment terms and they say, or you ask them for payment terms, you say, well, do I get payment terms? Maybe the vendor only does credit card only. Maybe they are going to put you on terms. Say, what kind of terms are available? Do you have extra terms at certain buying levels that are available? It's always good to ask those questions. Thank them for their time. Go ahead, fill out your purchase order. And then you might just go ahead and roll through that same set of questions with the next vendor and go ahead and call them and ask those same questions so you can see what they're going to offer you. So there's a secret in this, and that is, if you shop around, you find the right prices. You find the best deals if you shop around. Okay, so that's the first secret here in the purchasing procedure is like, taking your time to figure out what's the best offer. And it's the best way when sourcing things in business is to look at your different options. Look at your options on things. Ask some questions. So once you get your purchase order going, I highly recommend you submit it by email or fax to the vendor so there's a record of it, there's a document of it, so you can get that going. So just a quick rundown on purchasing, making sure you're dotting your I's, crossing your T's, getting the best deal possible. If you guys have any experience with that, maybe you've done that before and had some good success with vendors, let me know. And thanks for jumping on the webinar and checking out this quick video.